This is the size we're looking for. This is why it's so important, and this is why we need teams of fodders like yourself out here fodding.
Because you're mine, I walk the line.
Back to the overheating car. Don's been sent out with a shopping list.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Ready for this?
That could save the whole project.
On three. 1, 2, 3.
Yep, buckets full of frozen carbon dioxide, otherwise known as dry ice. Every nook and cranny of the car will be filled with the stuff to keep the components cool. And with this ingenious solution in place, the official timekeepers arrive at Edwards.
Does this car surprise you? Is this a sort of crazy thing that you haven't come across before?
I like the audacity of it. We're going to do it no matter what attitude. No matter how crazy it is, we're going to do it. We'll travel halfway around the world and race a steam car in the California desert. I like that spirit of it.
At the moment, I've got to bring this up, the record's held by an American team. You're helping facilitate a British team maybe take the record.
You know, I haven't really given that any thought. And
I shouldn't say it now, should I?
I don't know if it's because of the affinity that Americans and British people have. Certainly there's a lot of national pride in holding records of any type, but always want to be pushing the state of the art in technology and pushing ourselves. So in that spirit of competition, I think we're happy to support.
Testing's over, so while Don helps out behind the scenes, it's time for Charles Burnett III to get behind the wheel for the record attempt.
Team control, car is running.
Charles has 3 miles of accelerating before hitting the time traps, which mark the start of the measured mile.
Do you get a feeling before these things? Do you get a hunch whether the car's going to do it or not? You've been to enough of them.
You know, I hate to say this, my general hunch is that no one's ever going to do it. Because I've seen an awful lot of people come out and be very quickly humbled by the conditions. It's harder than it really looks.
The first run's looking good, but the record depends on the average speed after a second run.
Mile speed was 129.762.
129 is fast enough, isn't it? They've got to do that on the way back.
They've got an average on the way back.
Car is safe and stopped. Over.
It's all too much for Pam, whose husband died suddenly a year ago. Along with the rest of the team, Pam has to watch while the car is turned around for its all-important second run. Her husband, Frank Swanston, should have been here. He was the chief engineer on the project.
For all of us, it will be a double-edged sword, really, the end of something that we've been working towards for 6 years, because that's when he first got involved. That'd be great. It's very exciting, and I'll be so pleased when Charles has taken that record.
It is his car, isn't it, Frank? You wouldn't be here without him.
No, not really, if I'm honest. And I think if you ask most of the guys, I think they'd say the same thing, really.
Refueled with compressed air, propane and water, the car sets off, but then grinds to a halt.
Control, we just hit much more over 70 miles an hour. We're down to 30 now and coasting, no brakes. Over.
Come to a standstill just over halfway down the course, and that will be our running for the day. So stand down.
I think you're going to be okay today. I mean, I know it's...
I'll be fine, I'll be fine. I'll probably have a couple of moments, but, you know, that's what it's all about. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people here who'll be emotional when this finally does what it's, you know, been made to do. So I won't be the only one blubbing at the end of the day. So.
The car's stopped in the middle of Edwards Air Force Base, the runway NASA sometimes uses to land the space shuttle. And despite all that fodding...
Well, we seem to have a puncture, which goes to show that we still need to keep this track nice and clean. There's been lots of vehicle movements going up and down it for the last, well, week or so, and we haven't had a close inspection of the track. So we need to get the tyre off, have a good look at it and find out exactly what it is, and get a team back out on there to walk and pick up whatever is left.
This is the start of a week of setbacks for the car.
Just too good to be true.
Boilers blow, valves clog up with the desert dust, and all the time the clock's ticking on the timekeepers booked for another event in just a few days' time. And to top it all, with each successive run, the car is slowing down.
A little slower than yesterday, slowing down particularly at the far end, so he must have had a problem towards the end of the mile.
We know that we need more distance, so this course is just over 6 miles, and we'll try and redo the course to 7 miles so that we can get the maximum out of the car.
Bit of a slow takeoff there. We knew that was coming, but it seemed a little excessively slow, so I think we used a bit too much fuel on the startup.
When the car's ready, the track's not, or when the track's ready, the car's not. So we've just got to get that timing just right.
But our plucky British chaps take it all in their stride.
Rather than pushing the envelope, we're gently steaming the envelope open of land speed record in the steam world.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you. You feel like heaven to touch.
There's always a little obsessive compulsiveness about record breakers. Has to be, because otherwise you go away and do something sensible, wouldn't you?
These are my steampunk goggles. It's pretty hard to see here. Try them on.
Yeah, you can't really see much at all, actually, can you?
They're all for looks and style.
I'm slightly concerned for you if you're wearing these during the attempt, because I don't know if you'll see much of a car.
Well, you know what? We'll see how that goes.
Certainly without this team here to get in there and just get it apart again, put it together again, no hope. In fact, I asked one of the guys, I said, you know, at what point did you say enough's enough, it's time to give up? He looked at me like I was crazy. He said, you know, give up, we're British.
It's crunch time. In 2 days, the official timekeepers will have to move on, effectively pulling the plug on the team's record-breaking dreams. They hit the last chance saloon in the local town of Lancaster, with the seriousness of their situation really kicking in.
The mechanics are getting tired. I'm getting tired, you know. I'm not doing the work that they do, but I'm supporting them wherever I can. It's really up to Charles. But every time the car runs and it runs well, we build up our optimism and hope that we're going to get this record.